So glad you're here. Welcome. And if you're able, is this a song we should stand and sing? All right. If you're able, let's stand and we'll sing our way into this service.
Everything that I need to know about what lies before me. Everything that I need to know about what lies before me is available to me, is available to me through the mind of God within me. Everything that I need to do about what lies before me, everything that I need to do about what lies before me, everything that to me is available to me through the mind of God within me. Everything that I need to accept about what lies before me, everything that I need to accept about what lies before me, everything that to me is available to me through the mind of God within me. Everything that I need to release about what lies before me, everything that I need to release about what lies before me is available to me, is available to me through the mind of God within me, through the mind of God within me, through the mind of God within me.
All right, welcome everybody. Take a moment to greet someone you haven't met yet.
Looks so fun. So happy for you guys. Congratulations. 20 years.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul
welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 All right, if there are any kiddos here today who'd like to join their teachers up at the front, I would invite them forward. Do we have any young people? Oh, I'm not sure we do. I don't know if we do today. Okay. All right. I think we don't have anybody here today, but let's give our teachers a huge round of applause. Woo!
What a surprise.
Okay.
My name is Rylan Wingerter. I'm a practitioner for you this morning. And our practitioners here at CSL Bellingham are to support you in your prayer and in your knowing of the truth. That is what we are here for. And anyone you see wearing one of these this morning is available for you to talk to ask questions, we're here to be present for you. If you have any prayers that you need, there's a prayer vessel at the back. We have online prayers. There's a lot of ways to reach us and ask for support on your spiritual journey. And that is why we are here. And specifically this morning, I'm here to offer an opening prayer for our service. So if you haven't already, please silence your cell phones and join me in an opening prayer. Join me in knowing that there is only one divine presence, one ultimate love, a joy, a peace, a power of good. And that presence, that love, that joy is here now in this moment, uniting us together as one. We are one with that love, with that joy. We are one with peace. And we are one in the knowing of the truth. We know that we are peace. We are the movement of peace in this world. It flows through us. We are the movement of love in this world. Every cell of our body radiates love and joy and peace. We are the light shining in this world. And as we gather together to enjoy the message of love and peace being shared, that light is amplified. And I am so grateful to be a light and to be present with all the lights in this room as we shine as a beacon of love. And I release these words knowing that they are so, and so it is.
We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it wash over us. We let it be. Grace. We let the grace wash over us. We let it be in peace. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. In love, we let the love wash over us. We let it be. All right, if you've been to any of the women's retreats, you'll probably know this one. If you don't, you'll catch on easily. All right. Okay, here we go. All good, holy, holy. All good, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is good, holy, holy. All love, holy, holy. All love, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is love, holy, holy. Now one. All one, holy, holy. All one, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is one, holy, holy. All God, holy, holy. All God, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is God, holy, holy. And good, one more time. All good, holy, holy. All good, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is good, holy, holy.
I better check my phone. Yeah, I was afraid of that. There. How about you? Is it off? Well, welcome again. We're in the midst of a topic, no time to lose. And someone said, what exactly is this all about? And I said, I don't know. I don't know why I chose this. I do know it makes me anxious, so I'm avoiding it. So actually today, though, is really kind of the heart of the matter for me. And the topic for today is, have any of you read the Lemony Snicket stories? A few of you. Oh, well, they're children's stories, but and they're on Netflix, and there's a movie. It's funny, scary. So this is a topic that's funny, scary. It's called The Curious Impact of Impermanence. And it's my favorite topic I've ever picked because it's a topic that I've had to explore a lot in so many different ways. And the best joke I ever heard relating to this topic was about a student of Zen who was sitting in satsang with the Zen master, and it was a time for questions and answers. And so the Zen student raised his hand and he said, Master, tell us what it's like after we die. And the Zen master said, I don't know. And the student said, what do you mean you don't know? You're a Zen master. And he said, yeah, but I'm not a dead one. Which kind of captures our fear and our hope all at the same time, you know? It's like, well, it's a mystery. And I wish it wasn't, but it is. So there it is. So the curious impact of impermanence, actually the way I think of it is that there's challenges and there's opportunities in living in a world that is completely impermanent, living in a body that's completely impermanent. And so I wanted to talk about the challenges first in case you recognize any of them. And I'm sure you've overcome them all, but just in case, they try to creep in. So one of the challenges is denial and numbing. So we, sacred humans, in a way that no other animal that I'm aware of does do, what we do is if we really are in a situation that we don't really want to be in and we don't know what to do about it, we go into denial. It's so cute of us. And in that denial state, it's really literally like la, 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 la. It's not happening, it's not happening, it's not happening. And I'm sure many of you remember the story of my third pregnancy where I became pregnant 9 months after my child was born. My second child was born, and I couldn't believe it. And so I went into denial, which is really hard when you're pregnant. And what that showed me, though, is how powerful denial can be. Because, my body is looking very pregnant, and I am, in my mind, I am not pregnant. That can't be. That just can't be, so it's not. And so if I can do that with that, then perhaps you have found yourself from time to time in denial. And the problem, of course, is that we don't know we're in it until something happens to knock us out of it. And so what happens to us in denial around impermanence, so we're talking about looking at death and dying and loss and grief and all those wonderful, lovely, happy topics. No wonder people wanted to watch the Seahawks instead, right? What happens is if we go into denial, we cut off from the actual world that we're in. And there's automation going on. Our body still breathes. We do our habitual structures that we've set up, but we're not there at a certain level at all. So we're completely cut off. And so time passes and things happen, but we're not available. And the other way that we work with our desperate need to not think about impermanence is we numb. And Brene Brown is famous for saying that Americans in particular, but I suspect it's worldwide, have the greatest talent for numbing that the world has ever seen. We numb with substances, we numb with media, we numb with just cutoff, we numb with anger, we numb. And as we numb, we somehow believe that if we just cut off and numb the part about impermanence, about loss, that we'll be fine everywhere else. But you can't just numb one place. If you numb one thing, you numb everything. And so it's a real challenge. And so really the spiritual path is one of moving out of denial and moving into being available, which means less or no numbing. You know, the more awake you get, the more intolerable numbing becomes. But when you're numb, it feels great. You know, think of a dentist, and you're getting a filling. It feels great to be numb, doesn't it? So when we're numb, it feels great until we realize that we're missing a huge part of our show, our children's lives, our partner, our own development. We're missing it. So my teacher, Thich Nhat Hanh, was a teacher for me because before I met him, I think I fell into the category of the challenges I'm describing a bit around impermanence, because I had a lot of people die in my life when I was young and also have strokes and things like that. So it didn't look good to me. So I just I don't like impermanence. I don't want to be around it. I don't want to be around it. So cute. But, I was 6 at the time. So, children are like, yeah, I don't want to be around it. And they believe it, right? So anyway, when I was 40, I met Thich Nhat Hanh. And one of his teachings is this: it's not impermanence that causes us to suffer. What makes us suffer is wanting things to be permanent when they're not. And as soon as I heard that, it was like, okay, they're not, and we spend a lifetime trying to hold on to things that we know will slip through our fingers, we know will go. And so making peace with this is incredibly important, because the impact of denial and numbing is that we lose our life. That's what happens. And so the other part of the challenge of knowing about impermanence and not liking it and not wanting to deal with it is it generates a lot of fear in us. I don't know, maybe not you, but a lot of fear of change and loss. And so for me, this is also why a spiritual path is so incredibly valuable, is because any teaching you walk into is going to talk to you about how change is necessary and that we can't actually grow without changing, right? And so looking at change not as a something to be feared, but rather something to be welcomed, becomes part of the tradition of spiritual growth. It's like I'm welcoming, opening more fully to my open-hearted, compassionate self. I'm opening to the fact that some people will leave my life because I'm now living from a different place, a spiritual place. And I'm not willing to indulge in gossip anymore, and I'm not willing to be negative about things anymore, and they like that. And so they don't want to be around me. That's okay. Change is good, right? Change is good, right? Except that we're afraid of it sometimes. Maybe not you. And so for me, I'm in the middle of a big change. As you know, I'm retiring at the end of this year after 40 years of ministry and moving into a different career. And so looking at change from this advantage of this vantage point of having worked with spiritual change and over and over and over, one of the things that I was reminded of is a Rumi quote, which some of you have been hearing me say because it's so helpful to me in the midst of a change. And it's part of a quatrain that is just beautiful. But here's the line. Rumi says, move within, but don't move the way that fear makes you move. And this has been very helpful, because you may have noticed, if you're ever fearful, that fear often wants to go back to that other challenge of denial and shut down, cut off, numbing. And fear will also, turtle us in and freeze us, the old fight, flight, or freeze. So other people will get really, really angry when they're fearful. And so Rumi says, don't move the way fear wants you to move. Which is then, well, how do you move? And he said, move within, meaning go into your truest nature and live from that place. Live from that place. And so that, for me, helps me deal with any fear at all, but fear of change in particular. And I'm reminded, pretty much daily now about how this fear can be worked with. Because if you look around, just look out at the meadow, for those of you who are here. If you look around, you see the dance of change all the time, every day. Out here in the meadow, you folks that are joining us from afar, we had a huge windstorm the last 2 days, and we have all these maple trees. And so you should have been here 2 days ago. It was like being in the dance of the leaves. It was amazing. And it was the dance of change. The leaves were letting go, the trees were letting go of them, and they were swirling around, and now they're laying all over the lawn, which will be good for the lawn, I think. The dance of change, every time you sit by a mountain stream that's babbling along, that's change. The water is moving things as it flows to the sea, where it will ultimately be changed. So everywhere we look, change is happening, and when we can be with that instead of resisting it in our own life, then we open to the other side of this equation that I wanted to bring to you. Because a lot of you already have been working with denial and numbing and fear of change and fear of loss. So let's talk about where you landed, which hopefully you've landed there and you're permanent there. That's impermanent too, right? But at least we can know it's there and we can visit it often, even when we are afraid. So the advantages or the opportunities of impermanence, this is the curious impact for me. This is where it really gets curiouser and curiouser, as Alice in Wonderland would say. And what happens when I embrace impermanence, change, that everything I love, everything that I've done will ultimately pass away, that my body is in a constant state of change. When I come to peace with that, what begins to happen is I move into appreciation and gratitude. And it's not even like trying. It's like that's the natural state of accepting things as they are. And so in one of the stories I read, and I think this happened maybe in Asia, there were some students that came to the master, and they were frustrated and fearful about impermanence, and they said, how can you be so happy? How is it that you can be so happy in a world of such impermanence where you can't protect your loved ones from illness or death or harm? And the master looked at them for a moment, and right by him was a glass, and it was full of water, and he said, do you see this glass? Someone gave me this glass. It holds my water admirably, and it glistens in the sunlight. I touch it, and it rings. One day, the wind may take this glass and throw it to the ground and shatter it, or my elbow may knock it off the table and it will break. I know this glass is already broken, so I enjoy it incredibly now. So I enjoy it incredibly now. And I think that's the state we move into when we can accept change as the reality and impermanence as the way this whole place is set up. When we begin to embrace that, and this is important for any of you who are dealing with illness or aging or the loss of a beloved one or the change in circumstances that may have happened. This is important, this message, because impermanence in your life is very, very alive and well and evident, right? And so remembering that the way we embrace that change and experience can allow us to move into gratitude and appreciation for what is. And so as we do that, what begins to happen is what the Japanese called wabi-sabi. And wabi-sabi is a way of life in Japan for some. And it has to do with recognizing three different things. So the first is that everything is impermanent. Everything is transient. And so the example that is often used in this tradition is, for example, the cherry blossom. So beautiful, so lovely, so impermanent. You know, it's there, it's beautiful, and then it's gone. So transience, and then along with transience, imperfection, which is, you know, the slogan around here since I got here was, this is a perfection-free zone, because one of the ways we deal with impermanence in that denial numbing place is we just try to be perfect. And we were taught that. It doesn't just happen. I've never met anyone who thought they needed to be perfect just from the cradle. No, they were taught that. And the perfection is a method of control. And so what are we controlling? Well, change, impermanence. You know, if I just be as perfect as I can, then maybe bad things won't happen. Maybe I won't get yelled at. Maybe I won't fill in the blank. So in wabi-sabi, instead, there's an embracing of imperfection, not just as a reality, but as beauty, you know, as a beautiful thing. So often trees are venerated in Japan, and they have wounds, you know, and they're all gnarled up from the different elements that they've been part of, and they're honored because of their imperfection. They're seen as very unique and special. What would it be like if you and I looked at the imperfections? Maybe you don't have any, but if I looked at my imperfections and went, this is what makes me special. This is what makes me unique. This is the best part of me. So what if we lived into that part? So, and then the third element of wabi-sabi, which is all in this category of appreciation and gratitude, is the attempt and the absolute commitment to connect to nature, which in Japan, if you've ever been to Japan, that can be tricky in the big cities, and yet they've set up these huge parks and places where people can go to connect to the beauty of nature, to the calm of nature, to the impermanence of nature in all of its glory. Do you remember that story about the Zen garden that was in the monastery grounds of the Zen monastery in Japan? And there was this one very zealous monk who wanted it to be perfect. And so he would go out every single morning just as it was getting light and pick up all the debris from the trees and the flowers and everything, the leaves that had fallen and the branches that had fallen, and he'd get it all picked up so that it was absolutely immaculate and perfect. And one day the Zen master was out watching this guy, and he was hiding behind a tree just so the guy wouldn't know he's there. And then the man was just about done doing his perfection thing, and the Zen master jumped out at him, and the younger monk said, "Well, master, what are you doing here?" He said, "Well, I thought I would show you perfection because it looks like you're working to make things perfect." And the young monk thought, "Oh, good, I can do this even better." And so he said, "Master, I would love that." And so the master went over to one of the trees and wrapped his arms around the branches and shook the tree. And all the leaves fell down. And he said, "There, that's perfect." So has your tree been shook lately? Are you okay with letting it be as you are, as we are? And then the last part of the opportunity of impermanence is awe and wonder. And my niece was visiting a friend here, and she was being told about the larches. Do you know about the larch trees? The larch trees are up in the mountains around here, from like Mount Rainier up through British Columbia, and they grow at really high elevation, and they grow kind of together. They're sort of in a family grouping. And the interesting thing about larch trees is they're an evergreen that's deciduous. So, and in the fall, for this very, very short window, like from early September, maybe late September to early October, that's it, they turn absolutely flamingly golden. And they kind of do it all at once. And so if you're hiking and you come across this forest of these flaming golden trees, it's surreal. It's absolutely kind of magical. And then within a couple of weeks, pretty much all at the same time, they drop their needles. And they're a very unusual tree. So my niece's friend had gone up to visit the larches before they lost their needles. And for me, that's an experience that celebrates impermanence, right? I mean, those trees don't turn that color until they're ready to let go and change. And so part of opening to impermanence, the impact that it can have on my life and maybe yours, is that all of a sudden things that seem ordinary to other people are extraordinary. They're moments that inspire awe and wonder, and they invoke in me a sense of the deeply spiritual, the deeply magical nature of being here on this ever-evolving, ever-spinning world of ours. For me, this is very potent and very precious. And it's the gift of coming to peace and to terms with the fact that everything changes all the time. And so for me, I brought something that is specifically for any of us that are in kind of a dark place with impermanence, because that happens, time after time. Things happen that we didn't choose. That's part of our beef here. It's like, hey, I didn't choose this. I didn't say I wanted this. And sometimes it just happens in such an unexpected way or a difficult way that we're plunged into a dark place. I won't ask for hands. There's an incredible poet that some of you know well, named John O'Donohue. And John left us at the age of 52 on his honeymoon in Paris. So what a great way to go. But he wrote a number of blessings and poems, and this is for those of us who maybe are in the midst of change that perhaps is difficult at the moment. And if you aren't there, blessings on you, and hold someone in your thought that might be, as I read this poem, this blessing. When the light around you lessens and your thoughts darken until your body feels fear turn cold as a stone inside. When you find yourself bereft of any belief in yourself and all you unknowingly leaned on has fallen. When one voice commands your whole heart and it is raven dark. Steady yourself and see that it is your own thinking that darkens your world. Search and you will find a diamond thought of light. Know that you are not alone and that this darkness has purpose. Gradually, it will school your eyes to find the one gift your life requires, hidden within this night corner. Invoke the learning of every suffering you have suffered. Close your eyes, gather all the kindling around your heart to create one spark. That is all you need to nourish the flame that will cleanse the dark of its weight of festered fear. A new confidence will come alive to urge you towards higher ground, where your imagination will learn to engage difficulty as its most rewarding threshold. So sometimes the dark is so overwhelming that we want to move the way fear would have us move. And I guess this talk, my hope is that you'll remember the opportunity that any impermanence that we're experiencing holds for yourself in your own life, for our community as we change. There's an opportunity here for incredible awe and wonder, gratitude and appreciation, and incredible growth. And so let me do a prayer for that and we'll close. All around, in every part of my reality, I see and know that things change and that they are changing right before my very eyes. It's not that hard to remember. The hair on my head is changing color. My body seems to be wanting to slope down toward the earth. The things that were once something I did without effort now require focus. And in the world at large, change is happening. And as I see this, I recognize that I could move the way fear would have me move, but instead, in this prayer, I'm choosing a different path. I'm remembering that for myself and everyone listening, there is an indwelling presence that knows nothing of fear, whose nature is evolution and growth, whose agenda for my own life is to support that growth in me. And so instead of seeing change as an enemy or difficult, instead of fearing it, now I remember, no, change is my nature. Change is spirit in me moving me into greater and deeper appreciation, gratitude, awe, and wonder. So I open myself to change. I allow it to move me in the ways that most benefit the next stages of my growth. And as I embrace the impermanence of my own structures and let them go easily, I find that I am freer and freer in my life. Free to be myself more fully, unafraid of change any longer. And I am so grateful. It's like receiving the gift of my true self back again. So I allow graceful, easeful change. I easily let go of structures that no longer support, and I embrace newness as an exciting adventure, and absolutely what I was built to do. And again, grateful for this, grateful that the same thing is true for you. And if you accept that this prayer is true for you, you can join me in saying, and so it is. Thank you, everyone. All right, our ushers today are Lynn and Heather, and we're grateful to their volunteering and grateful for the wonderful gifts you bring to the center. Those of you, I see the coffee team going to get ready, and you had meditation this morning with a volunteer practitioner, and the band is helping us all be very alert. So thanks for the gifts that you give financially because they support everything that happens here.
Today and every day I'm gonna dwell upon the good. Today and every day I'm gonna dwell upon the light. Today and every day I'm gonna dwell upon the peace. Today I'm finding gratitude for all that's right. What we dwell upon, we become. What we dwell upon, we become. What we dwell upon, we become. So let's dwell upon the good. Today and every day I'm gonna dwell upon the love. Today and every day I'm gonna dwell upon the grace. Today and every day I'm gonna dwell upon the joy. Today I'm seeing God in each and every face. What we dwell upon, we become. What we dwell upon, we become. What we dwell upon, we become. So let's dwell upon the good. What we dwell upon, we become. What we dwell upon, we become. What we dwell upon, we become. So let's dwell upon the good. So let's dwell upon the good. So let's dwell upon the good.
There we go. We have a few announcements. Shocker, I know. But they're really cool, all of them. What we're doing in this season of the center is really cool, and I hope you'll come and be involved in whatever seems to really call to you. The first thing is, how many of you saw the movie Linden at the Pickford? A couple of you. This is a movie about an Ethiopian girl who was adopted into a family from Linden, grew up, and then as a late teenager, George Floyd had happened, and she realized that, she was different, and that she wasn't liked because the color of her skin was different. And so it's a documentary, and it's a really good one because it's not like this is such a bad thing that people are racist. It's more like, well, there's a lot of fear in the world, and this movie talks a lot about how to work with that. So we're showing it for free here right after the service at noon in the sanctuary. You can invite your friends. Nice way to get them to know the center. And we will have a discussion afterward. So hope you come. And then Brian Flowers is a funeral director. And for years he worked with Moles Funeral Home, but he started his own funeral home, and that was because he's very interested in the many alternative ways that we can now work with our own, how does dead body? I was trying to think of a better way to say that, However, it's a dead body, and so what do we do with it? And there's so many options now that we thought you might be curious to hear about all of them. I'm sure you've heard about composting, but there's also a number of other ways that we can really be friendly to the earth and friendly to our loved ones. So he's giving a free talk Friday, November 1st from 6 to 7:30 about that, and we'll answer questions. And then, okay, so here we go. This is Impermanence 101. You need to take Cindy's workshop. She is a very skilled practitioner, and also in her work life has offered this workshop calling Meeting Change with Resilience. And of course, we're offering it for free because our community is going through a shift. But we also know that there are many of you that would benefit from the knowledge that this workshop has when your own life begins to change, and how to meet that with resilience. It is free, but you do need to sign up because there's materials that we'd like to provide for you. And this is November 2nd from 9:30 to 1:30. Bring a lunch. And then if you have kids, and even if you don't have kids, this is a delightful movie called Coco. How many of you have watched this movie? Okay, good. Yeah, it's really wonderful. I just rewatched it on a plane. And so we're also offering this for free on the 2nd at 2:30. And it's a great way to start, really, because that's the Day of the Dead. So we're introducing the Day of the Dead with this movie. There'll be a dance party immediately afterward. And then later, we're going to actually invite you to come to a Day of the Dead celebration of our own. And this is a beautiful time to remember people or animals that you have lost from any part of your life, from the very recent past all the way back. Because the Day of the Dead is a celebration of our ancestry, of the connections that they don't stop just because someone dies. So we're going to start inviting you, is it today? No, next week. If you would like to bring pictures of your beloveds, whether it's an animal or a person, if you would like to bring photos or mementos to put on our Day of the Dead altars, you can start bringing them next week, and we will have it set up by the time of this ceremony. And then the Threshold Singers are a delightful group of people who sing at the bedside of people who are passing. And they are coming to celebrate our dead by singing the love songs that they sing to those who are passing over. And it is very moving. I think it's an incredible thing. So 6 to 8 p.m. on the 2nd. And we'd love you to come and be a part of that. And then, of course, we have our Spirit at Work breakfast meeting on November 6th. It's a Wednesday morning from 8 to 9:30. You can register for this online at our website. And we do love you to register because we have wonderful food, but we always want to make sure we have enough food. So please do register. $30 or whatever you can pay will get you to this breakfast. And it's a breakfast meeting of entrepreneurs, people who are managing people who have small businesses, and it's a way of talking about how to be spiritual in the midst of running a business. And who better to speak about this than Kalish Leviel, one of our practitioners who also owns a business. So she'll be the speaker on the 6th. And then I'm teaching a class that starts election night. I think I didn't remember that. But maybe it's really good. Change your thinking, change your life. What do you think? So it's going to be for 6 Tuesdays from 6 to 8:30. And it's really about looking at our deeply held belief systems, our thoughts, and the way we've habituated our lives, and making the changes that we see would really be of benefit to us. So it's a great class. You're invited to come. I'm not offering it as a hybrid class. It's my last class to teach here for the time being, and I want to do it in person, so I'm going to. So I hope you'll come. And then Biff Dickerson has generously wanted anyone who wants a copy of my Daily Prayers book to have a copy. So he's purchased a bunch, and they're free to you, and they're in the classroom where the coffee is as well. So after this, head that way, and you'll have some lovely coffee and snacks and talk to people. And then if you love kirtan, do not miss Shantala. They are the masters of kirtan. They're incredibly skillful musicians who bring to life the devotional nature, the bhakti of singing through sacred Hindu chanting. Really wonderful. That's on the 3rd, 7 p.m. And then one last announcement that's not there. If you have volunteered to be a host or a hostess for our harvest dinner, which is sold out, but we do have a waiting list if you'd like to get on there. The hosts and hostesses, if they have any questions, are going to be meeting with me in the office in about 15 minutes. So feel free to come and ask questions. If you already got it, you already done this before, don't worry about that. Okay? Thank you so much for being here. Why don't we stand if we're able, and we'll sing our way into the day.
Love inside me, feel the power of love. I can see the evidence around me. We are the power of love, and my eyes are open to the truth I now embrace, and my heart is open by spirit and by grace. I can feel the power of love inside me. We are the power of love. I can see the evidence around me. We are the power of love, and my eyes are open to the truth I now embrace, and my heart is open by spirit and by grace. We are the power of love. 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 Have a wonderful week, everybody.